Alright, lads and ladies, I'm back for another random topic video for Bloodborne. So, this time, I got this idea from someone in my comments talking about this. And that is, should Bloodborne get a remaster or a remake? Now, I can see both. I think I just bumped my mic a little. I can see both sides of this argument. Let me get into each side, and then I'll go over what I think. So, starting off with the basic Bloodborne remaster, what I cover. First of all, I want to say this. If they announce a Bloodborne remake, you best believe I'm changing that thing to daily Bloodborne remake update. I'm keeping the day the same, though. I'm not resetting those days. Listen, I've gone over 320 days at this point. At the time I'm recording this, it'll be day 325 when I upload today's remaster update. Not changing that day counter. However, I feel like I don't have anything to worry about for a couple hundred days. However, we do have that state of play tomorrow or today when I post this. So, who knows? I'm going to be recording my reaction. Sadly, my laptop charger is dead, so I cannot use my laptop to record it. So, I'll probably just end up screen recording off my phone if anything crazy happens. Like, the main thing that would make me freak out is FF16. If that shows up, oh my goodness, I'm just gonna lose my mind. But back to the topic at hand. So, should we get a Bloodborne remaster or a Bloodborne remake? This is a bit of a sensitive topic, as for those of you who are here somehow and do not know this, Bloodborne has a crazy cult following, myself included. And so many people are apprehensive to the thought of a remake, and they just say, just a remaster. Well, I'm worried that a remaster, a 60 FPS remaster, might not even be in the cards. Because you see, Bloodborne's frame rate issues, and this is the number one thing people touch on, right? The frame rate issues. Its issues do not stem from hardware limitations, right? The game's frame pacing, rather, is coded to like not be able to get above 30, lock 30 FPS, but it's a bit different than that, because FF7 Remake was a locked 30 FPS game. They capped the frame rate at 30 to keep it from fluctuating all over the place, which was a good idea. With Bloodborne, it's not just that they decided to lock the frame rate, it's the frame pacing of the game in general that had it end up like this. I don't know, what caused this. I know there was like an old Bloodborne, this is Project Beast stuff, that was made for the PS3, and when they jumped ship with the engine to PS4. I don't know, I'm not a game dev, I can tell you some things about the industry just from how long I've watched it, but this one I got no idea on. I just know that this is frame pacing, not just frame cap. So, I'm not even sure that a 60 FPS remaster is in the cards. If it is, let me know, educate my ignorant self. But yeah, let's just say that it is, though. If we can get a 60 FPS remaster, run the game in 4K, get some smooth, succulent HDR, maybe get I would like some quality of life improvements to the game. I really would. Personally, that's people say, why would you ever want to change anything about Bloodborne? Bloodborne is my second or third favorite game of all time, but there are quality of life improvements to make that I would love to see, and that is partially why I'm hoping for a remake, but we'll see. So, just the remaster, all you're really going to get is 60 FPS and the 4K. Now, that being said, I say that's all you're going to get. I want to say this straight up. That is all Bloodborne needs. 100%. Bloodborne is one of only 4 games I have played that I have given a solid 10 out of 10. In my opinion, the best game of all time is the OG Final Fantasy VII. You will never change my mind on this. For the legacy it has, for what it did, for how fantastic the story is, for how the turn-based combat is still so good. Everything in FF7 still holds up. You say, oh, the graphics are so bad I can't deal with it. Bro, grow up. And I want to touch on something here. I don't know how many people I see on Twitter that go up there and say, I'm a massive Souls fan, but the 30 FPS of Bloodborne just really makes it where I can't play it. I can't appreciate a game that's locked at 30 FPS. How stupid are you? I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeping elitist or anything, but it's like, dude, it's not gatekeeping, it's the exact opposite. I want you to enjoy this game, because If you can't enjoy something that doesn't run at 60 FPS, I have news for you, pal. 95% of video games do not stay at 60. They will drop below 60, whether it's 59, 58, 57. If you're going to get upset at 30, you may as well get upset at anything that is sub 60. Bloodborne is the best video game to come out since early 1997 when FF7 hit the shelves, okay? Seriously. Bloodborne is so unbelievably good, and if you use 30 FPS as an excuse to not play the game, get over it. You no right to complain about that sort of thing, dude. Seriously, how spoiled can you be? Come on now. And it does run real bad on an original PS4, no doubt. If you're on original PS4, I can kind of see it. If you are a PlayStation 4 Pro owner or a PS5 owner, and you complain about this, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to revoke your man and gamer card immediately. Because it runs on PS5 a silky smooth 30, right? On PS4, those frames will fluctuate like crazy. You will be anywhere from 15 to 30 most of the time. I know I'm ranting about this, but this is something that really gets under my skin because this game is too good to dismiss on account of the frame rate. But on PS5, it is a rock solid 30 all the time. On PS4 Pro, it will usually stay between 25 and 30 most of the time. So that's just, I want to get that out of the way because it frustrates me to no end to see people who claim to be diehard Souls fans not be able to do this game because of 30 FPS. If you're really that big of a fan, you'd suck it up and play the best Souls game out there. Come on now, seriously. And yes, I'm including Elden Ring. Elden Ring is Dark Souls 3.5. You can disagree all you want. You'll never change my mind. It should have been what... I'm going off the rails entirely. It should have been what Bloodborne was. Bloodborne changes the formula of Dark Souls enough to be its own thing. Elden Ring should have done this. Instead of just literally clicking and dragging the files from Dark Souls 3 and dropping them straight into Elden Ring, they should have at least done something different instead of just making it the exact same. I'm off on a tangent. I'm chasing rabbits around every corner. Forgive me. I need to calm down because when I get to ranting, I will never stop. So, that being said, Bloodborne Remaster. This video is all over the place. This is why I have to script myself. But the Bloodborne Remaster, I think there's definitely a solid case for it, right? The artistic style of Bloodborne, you know, I would be worried they would mess that up in a remake, you know? And I'm going to do a video probably in a week or so asking or talking about if Bloodborne should get a sequel. That is a loaded topic. I'm going to have to cover in like a 20-minute video. I'm going to have to come off the top of my head for that because I got to be firing them off. I got to be going quick. But for a Bloodborne Remaster, the case is there for it, right? There is the case to just remaster it because what if the artistic vision gets lost along the way? Or what if some of the things that make Bloodborne so special get lost along the way? For example, in the combat, there is one thing I worry about with the remake. I worry that they will try to polish up the character animations too much. If you do not know what I mean, look at the way Demon Souls is animated and the way Demon Souls Remake is animated. Demon Souls has your typical animations and everything, right? Demon Souls Remake, however, the transitions for the animations feel a little too long-winded. Like you have way too much emphasis on all of your attacks. Like in Bloodborne, for example, with the Shockwave, you can just, get in, get out, get your damage, step back, do what you gotta do. I feel like I'm worried that for a remake, they would put too many transitional animations between it, and it would slow the combat down to a crawl, which is why I tried playing the Demon Souls remake. I couldn't do it. The combat felt too slow. Dude, this feels slower than Persona 5, okay? Persona 5 is another one of my favorite games of all time. It is a turn-based game, and it feels a lot more lively than this ever has, right? So I'd be so scared of that. When I think of Bloodborne Remake, that is the first thing that comes in my head. That Blue Point is going to just add all of these stupid transitions to slow down the combat. And I don't want that, because that's what makes Bloodborne so good to me. The fact that it is so much faster than just Dark Souls, because I played Sekiro, I played Bloodborne, I played Dark Souls 3, and I played a bit of Elden Ring. Bloodborne feels better than any of them, right? And I am so worried that if they did a remake, they would put too many transitional animations in and ruin it. I'm also worried they would like change up the Hunter quick step. This is a minor one, but I am kind of picky over my Bloodborne and how it's represented. Because if there is a remake of Bloodborne, you have to make sure it is just as good or better than the original. Because if you take something as beloved as Bloodborne and you make it subpar to the original, we are going to eat you up. We are going to chew Bloodborne up and spit them out if that's what happens. Because Bloodborne has such a cult following that if you mess it up, it's over. like the entire Bloodborne community is going to drop it like a bad habit and go right back to the original. 30 FPS or not, be crawling right back to it. But here's the thing. I feel like, first of all, I don't think Sony's going to go back to Bloodborne for a long time. I hate to say it. I don't think they are. I'll do another video on that maybe, but sorry, I'm calming down now for a second. But I believe that if Sony does go back to Bloodborne, they're not going to take a chance on messing it up because they know they have something good here. But they also know that if they mess it up, people are going back to the original. People are not going to be messing with what they got now. And I am kind of worried that Sony would take Bloodborne and turn it into its own thing, because I don't want Bloodborne, like let's say they make another Bloodborne game that takes place during the plague of Alien Loran. I don't want this to be a Sony movie game. I love me some Sony movie games, right? God of War 2018, phenomenal. Ghost of Tsushima, mid. Horizon Zero Dawn, bad. Horizon Forbidden West, pretty solid. The Last of Us 1, phenomenal. Just kind of boring gameplay. Maybe the remake can fix that. But, you know, I'm just roasting everything right now. What am I doing with my life? Come on now, Carmen. It's too late for this. And sorry, it's like 1,000,000,000 degrees in here right now. I'm on hell's front porch over here in the south, so forgive me. What is this video? Okay. But I think Sony knows that if they did take a chance on it and they took control and turned it into a God of War movie game, that's my biggest fear. Like, they can turn this into like kind of what Wukong looks like. Black Myth Wukong, if you don't know, look it up. Probably the best looking thing in the industry right now, if I'm being honest. Just the animations, like and everything's just animated so well. That's what Waypoint needs to do, by the way. You can have super good animations and transitions, but you don't need to slow everything down to a crawl. You don't need 50 transitional animations. You just need like one good one. Seriously. I get so upset with Demon Souls remake on that. But anyways, I think that if Sony knows that they did that, people would not be happy. I would be heated, right? I like this game because it's a Souls game. I don't want this to be a God of War clone. God knows we have enough of those coming. Good Lord, I don't want any more. But still, I feel like Sony knows that if they do anything with the Bloodborne IP, that isn't a remaster, if it is a remake, a sequel, and a spiritual successor, sorry, my voice is getting shaky here, anything at all, they have got to do this with Miyazaki. They should know 100% that if Miyazaki is not in this, hoo boy, people are not going to be happy with that. People are not going to take that at all. No Miyazaki means none of like 50% of the fan base. Because not a lot of people are going to trust Sony to do this. And to be honest, I don't trust Sony to do this. They would 100% take away what made Bloodborne so good. They would 100% turn this into a movie game. And again, I love me some movie games. Pretty solid. But at the same time, I want my Bloodborns. I want my Devil May Cries, you know? Like, I want my games like that are more gameplay than story. Sony Ponies, I have a PS5. I've been PlayStation since I was, for 20 full years now. What am I saying? So ever since I came into the world, I've been PlayStation. But seriously, Ponies will sit there and tell you to your face, gameplay isn't important. No, you're wrong. Gameplay is the most important part of any game. I don't care what you say. That's why Uncharted 1 is awful. One of the worst games I've ever played. Uncharted 1's terrible. The next ones are good because they figure out how to adapt what worked from Uncharted 1, and they keep the game short enough to not make it really get excessive. And this is something that God of War could have learned. You know, God of War had fun combat, but it got tiresome, right? You know, it felt like I was kind of just approaching everything the exact same. One of the biggest examples of really terrible combat in a Sony game is Horizon Zero Dawn. Awful combat. Terrible combat. You just sit there and poke at weak spots with an arrow forever, right? And what made me laugh so hard was an encounter where Aloy said, "Oh, better craft some more arrows." I was like, yeah, that is the entirety of this 25-hour game's combat in a whole summarization right there. I better craft some more arrows. That's everything, right? And sure, you can attack differently, but the game doesn't do anything to encourage, and it's not more or less effective than if you don't switch it up, right? An example of how to do good combat, Devil May Cry 5. You can mash your face on the controller and get by, 100%. But let's take Virgil's gameplay for example. There is nothing, like there's no way mashing your face on the Yamato is more effective than switching over to Force Edge, doing the first 2 hits of drive, warping in, doing the spin kick with the Beowulf. You get down, and then you like go back up with the Yamato, do a couple hits, do the combo, 3 perfect judgment cuts, come back down, back to 4 with the Yamato, whoosh, end the combat right there. Smoking sexy style. That's it right there, you know. There's none of that in a lot of these Sony games. The only one that seems to have that is Final Fantasy 16, because again, well, I don't know if I've said this, I don't know why I said it again, but this is held up by a lot of Capcom employees, people that worked on DMC5. So yeah, I feel like that if you let Sony take control of the Bloodborne IP, you run the risk of running into the God of War issue, or especially, I guess you could call this the Last of Us Part 2 issue. Because while The Last of Us gameplay was solid and could support a 12-hour experience, there's like 2 new mechanics in the entirety of the sequel, and it's twice as long as the first. So the gameplay gets tiresome at like the 12-hour mark when the first game would have cut off. Like, that was the problem that game had, is gameplay got so boring. Like, I was dragging myself to those credits. I already was anyways from the terrible story and characters. I'm sorry, let me not go into that. But I don't fully trust Bloodborne in Sony's hands without Miyazaki. I don't trust it. Because you'll market it, I'm going to say it, to the casuals. Let me stop. This video is about to be 18 minutes long. I've been going for way too long on this. So, overall, what do I think is the safest bet? Remaster. Remaster is going to be the safest bet for Bloodborne's future. Just fix it up. Quality of life improvements. 4K. 60 FPS. HDR support. That's all I want, man. You imagine how good Unseen Village with the Blood Moon will look with HDR? Chef kiss. Okay. But if they were to do the remake, or do any kind of spiritual successor or sequel, I would not trust Sony without Miyazaki. Miyazaki's there directing this. I have 100% confidence he would not let Sony ruin his vision, because he didn't do it 7 or 8 years ago. 7. It was, I guess, 8 because of development, but still, I would trust it with Miyazaki. With Sony, no shot, brother. Sony would 100% turn this into a movie game, and that's not what I'm here for with Bloodborne. So, that'll do it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was an excessive amount of rambling. I spent like half this episode just rambling about whatever came to mind. It's late. It's hot. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks for 134 subscribers, by the way. My God, it's like 2 weeks ago I uploaded the boss ranking at the end and said, "Oh, thanks for 115 subs, guys. I appreciate it." And I'm saying thanks for 134. It's unbelievable, but thank you. I appreciate it a whole lot. It makes me smile every time I see it. I don't put out enough content, and I feel bad about that. But, you know, it is what it is. I try to get it with my work schedule. We'll see if I can get better at this in the future. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Do you think a Bloodborne Remaster would be better? Do you think a Bloodborne Remake will be better? I'm going to have a video coming in a week or two about maybe if they should do a Bloodborne sequel, what they could do it about, and would I trust Sony with it? So yeah, that'll be that. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. My name is Carmen, but I go by Ellism on YouTube, and that'll do it. Y'all take it easy.